If you've been watching any of my previous videos, you probably know by now that Interactive Brokers has been my broker of choice for quite some time now. I really love that broker and have my entire portfolio with them. However, recently I got an email from them which actually might make me reconsider keeping all my money in funds with Interactive Brokers. But let me show you exactly what I mean. That's the email I got a couple of days ago, which is from Interactive Brokers and an announcement about a merger. And the merger is basically within the entity of ibkr, which is a stock listed company, and the broker I've been talking about. And basically, they're merging two of their branches, which is Interactive Brokers Central Europe, IBCE, which will be merged into Interactive Brokers Ireland Limited, IBIE. Well, when I got it, I really wasn't worried about it. And then you read on, and actually there's not too much. And it even says here, as a client of IBCE, there's nothing for you to do right now. And I am a client of IBCE, which is basically the Hungarian-based entity, which most people from mainland Europe will be a part of. So that means clients keeping their money in the Hungarian entity will eventually be transferred to the Interactive Brokers Ireland division, which honestly, it's still part of the EU. So naturally, you would think there shouldn't be a real difference, as it says over here. So I read that email, put it away, and just went on with my day. But then somehow I had a weird feeling, because I remembered one thing why I liked Interactive Brokers is the fact that they secured my funds up to 100,000 euros. And as a matter of fact, a lot of the other brokers that I've been using only secure the funds up to 20 or 22,000 euros. So I thought to myself, I just want to double check that fact. Better to be safe than sorry. So I went online and had a look about it. So let me show you what I found. They have actually prepared a FAQ, which is nice. And you can see quite a number of questions over here. So I don't want to bore you with all the details, but essentially they really take you through the motions, explain what is what, which entity you belong to. You can actually see that if you go into your Interactive Brokers account and pull any kind of statement, you will see at the top left or top right, I don't remember, the entity where you're based. Either you will already be with IBIE, which is the Ireland base, so then there's really no change for you, or you will, like I am myself, with IBCE, which is the one in Hungary. So that will be merged into the Ireland one. So just double check to know which one you're on. If you're on the first one, obviously there won't be any changes. If you're on the second one, there will actually be quite an important change, which I'm going to run you through right here. Then they go on to say, due to Brexit, they had to make the strategic decision to merge the two brokers, etc. So that's all understandable. Companies do these things to save costs, etc. Also bureaucracy, etc. What have you. This will allow them to have a consistent offering across the different portfolios in Europe, etc. Makes sense. After the mergers, as it says over here, IBCE clients will be served through IBIE. So again, I haven't actually been to Hungary myself to get anything done. Everything is online. So from a user experience point of view, there really won't be any changes of your experience. How will this change IBIE clients, the ones in Ireland? Obviously, there won't be any change at all because they just keep on being there. There's no entity change whatsoever. When will this happen? They say sometime in 2024. So it might still take a couple of months. I do, however, think it's important to know that now so you can make some changes ahead of time. Then if you want to learn more about IBIE, they also explain where it is, where it's regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland, etc. So that's really good to know that they really go into great detail and lengths, which I always appreciate about Interactive Brokers. They're really detailed and they don't try to hide or cover up anything. I mean, it's a stock listed company after all, and I really appreciate the transparency that they have and showcase over here. Will there be any changes in terms of commissions or fees? But as they say over here very clearly, no, there won't be. So that's good to know. It will be the same fee structure, same commission structures. So there will be no changes at all. We'll have access to the same trading platforms, etc. Once again, there will be no impact to trading platforms. So everything will be exactly the same as you knew it from previous times. Will your products change after the transfer? Once again, absolutely not. So all the experience you had before, it will be exactly the same you had with the previous entity. In terms of the products that you can hold and buy, it's exactly the same as you could in the past. However, now that you're part of IBIE, you can actually have a few more additional services, and you can see them over here in case that's relevant. That's even better. So there are a couple of benefits of IBIE over IBCE. Now I'll skip one. I'll come back to that in a second. The question is, will the current cost basis of the positions you had be transferred? Absolutely. Once again, it's an internal transfer. So yes, that's absolutely going to happen. All your accounts will retain the exact same configurations of your current accounts. So everything that you had set up will be set up to your new account. Will your login credentials change? And once again, the answer is no. Everything stays the same. Your username, your password, two-factor authentication. So really a smooth, seamless process, which I really appreciate. However, now we come to the one big thing that you really need to know about. And that's the question, how am I protected against the loss? Are there any material differences between the two entities? and my existing relationship with IBCE. Well, they go on to say that obviously the two investment firms keep their client funds segregated from their own funds, so in case any of them becomes insolvent, obviously client funds cannot be used towards insolvency purposes. So that's good to know, but that's actually a common practice across most brokers out there. So, but anyways, they stated very obviously. But here we come to the most important sentence, and that's a little bit sandwiched away. They didn't really make it too obvious in the first email, but here you can read it for yourself. A key difference between those two schemes is that the maximum amount of protection under the Hungarian scheme is 100,000 euros. That's what I said before. That's why I invested with them. I was very happy. 100,000. It's still less than I have right now. Right now my portfolio is around 30,000. So I feel comfortably covered under the umbrella of 100,000 euros. However, now after the merger, the maximum amount under the Irish scheme is only 20,000 euros. So that's actually significantly less than previously at 100,000 euros. In fact, right now I'm actually over 20,000 euros. So technically, I'm already a little bit at risk in case something was to happen. And then they go on to share some more resources if you want to learn more about the Irish investor scheme, etc. and the Hungarian scheme. But yeah, that's definitely a major change and consideration for future investors, how much money they want to keep with Interactive Brokers. Obviously, you're still covered with the SIPC insurance for all your US-based assets up to $500,000. So that's good to know. But still, if you mostly invest into European stocks or British stocks, what have you, that's now only up to 20,000 euros. Now, granted, it's highly unlikely that such a reputable broker, such as Interactive Brokers, will completely fail. I think it's really unlikely. It's probably one of the longest serving brokers out there. There's so much trust. They are a stock listed company. I mean, if I trust any broker, probably it's going to be Interactive Brokers, but still I like to minimize my risk and benefit from full investor protection. And that's why, quite frankly, after that merger will happen sometime in 2024, I will probably shift some of my funds to another broker. Now, I will definitely continue to be with Interactive Brokers because I love the platform, the broker itself. I'm really comfortable with them and keeping my funds in my portfolio there. I will probably go over 20,000 eventually because, as I said, they really have such a long track record. But still, I like to diversify, and that's why I think it's important to have more than just one broker. And that's why I use a number of different brokers where I keep my money, such as Trade Republic, Trading 212, and one of my favorite ones, Lightyear. And if you want to learn more about Lightyear, then check out this video over here where I'm going to run you through the app and how you can buy your ETFs completely commission free. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.